Today we're going to do a little deep dive into the Warrens. Ed and
Lorraine, yes.
So yeah, if you've watched the Conjuring movies, you've heard of
Annabelle.
Amityville Horror, Annabelle.
Yeah.
You most likely know who we're talking about.
Ready?
Yeah, we'll get into it. Let's go.
Let's go. Hello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up. Why do we do it so creepy, eerie?
Because it is a little bit creepy.
Oh, it could be.
A little
I
bit.
guess.
Could be maybe.
Could be
depending on your opinions,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little controversy with these guys. Ed and Lorraine Warren. If you know who they are, if you don't, we'll tell
Okay,
you real
I
quick.
honestly don't know many people that don't know who they are.
Right.
Like, even if you're not into the paranormal anything, you know who
You've
the
most
Warrens
likely
are.
heard of them.
Yeah. Like, which is...
I mean, they're
What is
famous around the
happening?
world.
Do you hear that?
It's that noise we had last time.
Oh my gosh.
I remember.
Okay, problem solved. So sorry if you heard the bumping.
Little technical difficulties.
Literally. Okay, we figured it out. So,
Yeah.
controversy. Some people believe, some people don't. Some people think they're crazy. Some people think they benefited off of other things. We're just going to get into the entire situation. Life story, what they did, who they were. Then we'll talk about the controversy and all the ending and all that stuff, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So, take it away, my love.
First of all, we know they were famous, well-known demon hunting team, paranormal investigators, whatever. They were active from like the 40s to the 90s. Really, Lorraine, even longer. So Ed was a self-taught, self-proclaimed demonologist. So he was an expert on studying demons, stuff like that. Lorraine was a clairvoyant, light trance medium, which I've never heard it called that, light trance medium. I guess it's it's a type of channeling.
She had a big thing with seeing auras.
Yeah.
I think that's probably maybe
She'd
why
see
they called
auras
it that.
and and she could
Even
channel
at,
in a way.
Even when she was like 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Evidently. Yeah. I'll start with Lorraine and her younger years.
Okay.
So she was born Lorraine Rita Moran. She was born on January 21st, 1927. She was an Aquarius, just like me. Oh, that explains.
What was her birthday? January
31st.
I thought you said 21st. I was like, wait a
Right?
minute.
Yeah, because Aquarius goes through February.
You're right, yes.
So that explains the weirdness. Yeah, because I am also kind of like her. I guess
You're
maybe.
not like her,
I don't
I
know.
I knew her,
different.
but I know.
I knew her
I'm
a little
joking.
bit, but she was raised in a very strict Catholic household. They both were, it sounds like. She attended a private Catholic all-girls school. She grew up, strong religious background, which this later influenced how she interpreted the paranormal. So she viewed her gifts as a gift from God. And she just wanted to help people, but she didn't really... Okay, so like I said, a light trance medium. So her abilities started from a young age, like we'd said. I'll talk more about that soon, but at like 7 or 8, she remembered seeing things and auras and things like that. But I'll get into more of her gifts and stuff in a little bit. But Ed, he was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, also on September 7th, 1926. His father was a police officer, which exposed him early to the ideas of law and order and justice and things like that. So he grew up supposedly in a haunted house, I guess, with doors would open on their own, unexplained footsteps, mysterious ghostly lights, things like this. He remembers having these experiences as a young child, which obviously piqued his interest in the paranormal.
I'm pretty sure it fucking fascinated him.
Yeah.
Like, he was into it. He was like, yeah, bring it on, demon.
Yeah,
like,
right? So when he was only 5 years old, he claimed he saw an apparition, a dot of light that grew until it became the family's landlady, who had actually died the year before. So at 5 years old, he remembers going that far back that he could actually see an apparition, that shit was real for him, He said he'd have dreams of dead relatives that he'd never met, including an aunt who would send him messages about his future, telling him that he would help many priests, but he would never fully become a priest himself, which technically is what he did. I mean, their work was very still rooted in Catholic, believe Roman Catholic, and he was never actually a priest, never officially a demonologist, but that was where his, his
that's what
roots
he called
came
himself.
from. Yeah,
that's what he said he was.
Self-proclaimed, but yeah. So this all obviously got him into it. He was fascinated with the supernatural, along with the religious aspects of it. He dropped out of school at age 16. He joined the Navy during World War II. He served as merchant marine and then in the U.S. Navy. So while in service, he actually survived a shipwreck in the North Atlantic And I wondered too, I didn't get a lot of details on that, but I wonder,
I don't know. Did ghosts haunt?
If it got stronger after that, or if that's when he realized, like, I need to be doing something different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as a teenager, he would even, like, draw spirits and ghosts he claimed to see. And this is where he really got into... I'll let you take it from here, because his drawing is...
Yeah. So in 1943, Ed was 17 years old, and Lorraine was 16. Yes, because they're year apart. Okay. He worked as an usher at the Colonial Theater. Okay. He said, "Here's your ticket, ma'am."
Oh, that's what he did. A greeter person,
right? Literally, but then I think he like walked people to their seats because 40s. You know, we're not today. Lorraine always went to the movies with her friends. She absolutely loved the movies. In several interviews, she talked about how movies, seeing different things and all of that stuff, kind of helped with her. It was a whole thing. I don't know. Very confusing, but okay.
Help shape her beliefs, maybe, too.
One random night, she went with a group of friends, and Ed saw her from his little entrance post and was like, "Damn, girl." No, but really, he actually didn't talk to her on the way, but, like, it was one of the I'm going to be with her kind of moments. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And afterwards, he asked, "How was the movie?" A little flirty flirt from the 40s. Later on, he actually described her as the most classy, shy, beautiful woman he had ever seen in his life. Aww. Mind you, he's 17. I mean, he couldn't have seen that many classy, shy, beautiful women. But,
This is where the courting shall begin.
He always said she had a very strange sensation about... She said he was strange. He had a strange sensation. He was a weirdo. But she found it intriguing. She found it interesting that, like, he was so deep and he had different thoughts than the normal person, that he talked about death and dying a lot and what happens after. And at first, it freaked her the fuck out. Yeah. She's like, "No, I don't know." But I think she just kind of got so used to it. Like, he's not a scary person. This is how he is.
Yeah, she started to be more attracted to the mystery, drawn by the eerie weirdness. She
also said he had a very bright light that she had never seen in anybody else, meaning his aura was a big bright beam. She actually loved his artwork. Okay, he was an artiste. He, like you said, from a young age, drew random things. His favorite thing to draw was spooky, eerie, creepy, gory... Not gory, that's not the right word. No gore, no blood and guts or anything like that. He began going to, like, haunted places, and he would draw the pictures, but he would draw them as... haunted, yes, but beautiful. Yeah. Like, he would exaggerate the photo, and he would give them to Lorraine as gifts. Oh, they were like, "I don't have money, but I have my art. I have my love." You know what I mean? He actually drew her a picture on their first anniversary of what their home would look like when they got older, with, like, a wraparound porch and a beautiful pond and just this big, beautiful, serene. Their dates spent together. Once again, neither of these people had money. They were not rich. They were not rich. They were young, in love, all of the things. They would spend their dates walking through cemeteries.
That's sweet.
And this is actually because of Lorraine. She said they were the most quiet and peaceful places that she had ever been. Literally. So they would, like, always start walking through town and end up in a cemetery. Like, every time.
Sounds like us. We did that a lot when we were teenagers. And not that they were dates.
And he would always talk about spirits, the afterlife, all of that. Like I said before, he was... I think the way I read it, it was a constant conversation between them.
Almost like he was obsessed with it.
Literally. And it took her a very long time to, like... make that feel normal. Yeah. Because it would, like, she was almost scared. Yeah. Like, I don't want to talk about this.
She was, like, a skeptic at first.
Literally. Yeah. I mean, when you grow up big, religious, all of that stuff, you are a skeptic. You have to be in that sense. Yeah. Eventually, she got used to it, obviously, and once they were, like, together more, they would, like, stay up all night long talking about, like, what life after death would be like for them. What would they do? Who would they haunt? Where would they go? Oh, yeah. Like, more of a fun... Not a fun, but a fun-loving conversation. In 1944, you already said, Ed enlisted in the Navy. So he did.
So they were already together at this point.
They were together. Okay. Before leaving, he gave her a ring, and he said, "When I come back, I will marry you." Oh. Okay.
I also saw something that when she first met him, she had a vision of him, like, grown like a grown adult,
Yeah.
and that she knew that he was going to be the one she married or something. So I don't know.
that's
I read that in a couple different
That's kind of
places.
sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
My mom had a vision about my husband and me when she first met him. She's like, yep, that's going to be the father of my grandbabies. Something like that,
adorable.
I guess.
My grandmother had a vision that she was going to have a great-great-grandchild that had red hair. Insert my middle child. Seriously.
That's cool.
Isn't that crazy? And she told my mom about it.
Wow.
Yeah, when she was like really old and not doing well. Like obviously she's gone now. But anyway, so in 1945 the ship wrecked. He was in that shipwreck.
Yeah.
And he actually got a 30-day leave to go home so that they could repair the ship so they could get back on the ship. It was not a big tragic event. It was just a simple wreck that
I wondered if there was something with the wreck that caused him to leave.
No, he came back for 30 days.
Okay.
And I think it said like after he was home for 2 or 3 days they got married.
Oh,
so
okay.
He made his promise true. He came home, but then he left again and he went.
Okay.
When they got married, it was 1945 in May. She was 18 and he was only 19. So they was babies getting married.
Yeah, I was 19 when I got married.
Yeah. So once he got out of the Army, or I'm sorry, the Navy, whatever it was, he came back. He started going to the Perry Art School. He signed himself up. He went on his own. He was always interested in art, but he fucking hated it.
Really?
He hated school. The school, like, more emphasized on classical techniques. Like, we're going to teach you how to draw a self-portrait. We're going to teach you how to draw a landscape.
Yeah, he's like,
we're going to teach you how to draw
this ain't
a
creepy
still
enough.
life.
I'll
Literally.
do what I want.
He was not in that school for long. I think it said maybe a full year. It wasn't long. He wanted to paint the spooky, eerie, gory, not gory. You get it.
Yeah.
The spooky stuff.
The paranormal.
He liked the spooky stuff. He dropped out. So by the late 40s, Ed and Lorraine were trying to start their new life. They were trying to do that. They had been talking about children. They had been talking about everything they wanted to do. They had absolutely no money, no connections to anything paranormal, but they knew she had a gift, and they knew he had a gift.
And they wanted to.
They wanted to. It's one of those things where you know what you
their
have, and you know you need to do something with it. So they did. They had a car. They had paint, and they both loved the unknown, the unseen. So this is it. Okay.
This is where
this is their first case, how they got it, what they did, right?
Okay.
They would read a story in the local newspaper or hear gossip about somebody talking about my house is haunted. Or back then we used to put it in the paper, like haunted house, and people would go and gawk.
That was our form of entertainment, yeah.
This was mostly like big, beautiful New England homes or cemeteries or abandoned buildings. Like, it didn't really matter. Like, it was very widely known when something was considered haunted back then. Like today, if it was in the newspaper, we'd be like, are they okay?
Yeah.
Like, why are they putting that in there? But they did. They would literally drive to this house. They would find the house, drive to the house, sit in front of the house in their car.
Could you imagine now?
Literally.
Sitting there
Ed would paint the photo. He would paint a picture of their house. Mind you, this was not a 5-minute painting. It was beautiful, glorious,
intricate,
big, detailed house.
So did he paint it like with what he saw there?
Sitting there looking, painting. In the car.
Did he draw like spirits with it and everything, or just the house itself?
I think it was just the house itself.
Okay.
I really do. But Lorraine...
But this is how he got himself
this is how it started.
To the haunted places.
Lorraine would walk up to the door, Ed following. He would come. She would knock on the door and say, my husband painted your beautiful home. He's an artist, and we thought you might like this.
Okay.
To give them a gift of the painting. The homeowner would almost always invite them in. Say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Come inside.
So they started young with knowing how to hook them.
They're like 20. You know what I mean? Like, they're very young.
We give them a gift.
And the painting, like you said, was more normal. It wasn't a spooky, eerie, creepy painting. It was a beautiful home.
Yeah.
That is how they got inside. Once inside, Ed would just like slowly bring up, oh, have you ever experienced anything strange in here? Like, acting like he felt weird for the moment. And almost all of them would be like, OMG. You know what I mean? That is how they got their first case. That is how they did it. No credentials, no equipment, just talking and pure fucking charm. Pure charm. Just like, hey guys, how are you? Yeah. Okay,
Could
so
you imagine having the guts to just go up to a stranger's house? Like, I painted a picture of your house. You want to let me in to look for ghosts?
That's called stalking, and you get a felony for that now.
Oh my gosh! And as someone who senses spirits, and I go into people's houses to do things like this, I could never just walk up to someone's house. Like, you
like,
better know me and ask me, and I better feel it out first.
If somebody knocks on my door, I tell everyone to be quiet. We're not answering that. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
brave.
So their actual first case together, their actual 100% first case, was not documented like the others. But this is the case that set up their entire career, how they're going to do these things. Obviously, as they got big and people started hearing about them, they didn't have to paint a photo. People started calling them.
Yeah.
But the way they did it inside the house is how it was. This house does not have a special name. It's not Amityville. It's not Annabelle. They called it the Connecticut House.
Okay.
That's literally it.
And there is, like, haunting in Connecticut, stuff like that.
This is not different. This is just a very simple one.
Okay. I'm sure there was a lot of
same concept. They read about a home in the paper.
Yeah.
They saw it. He drew the picture. They knocked on the door. Whenever he said do you ever experience anything odd in here, my love? Because he talks like that. I know. They lost it. The wife started crying because they were desperately trying to find somebody to help them, but nobody believed them. They're crazy. You know what I mean? Everyone says they're crazy. That's why they put an ad in the paper for somebody to come help them. And so they spilled their guts, and they're absolutely, we will come and investigate. We are going to come and do this for you. They told them they heard knocking all the time. They felt cold spots throughout the house. Things slammed. Objects were moved. Then just a simple, normal, whatever kind of haunting you want to call this. So this is what they would do. Ed would break up every member who lived there, child, adult, it didn't matter, and speak to them differently. So he would speak to you, and then he would walk and speak to you, ask you the exact same questions. Where do you feel it? What do you hear? To make sure this isn't Johnny in the other room going,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Being silly.
Get all the facts straight.
During that, Lorraine would walk around and just kind of feel the house. Just what does she feel in the moments? Where does she feel something happen? All of those things. They brought a Polaroid camera and a 35 millimeter still camera and a reel-to-reel audio recorder. That's it. So 2 cameras and an audio recorder.
So no crazy gear?
Nothing else.
Yeah.
She actually felt the spirit of a man who had died tragically in this home when it was built. Like, you know what I mean? Hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
And they checked, and it was true. He shmooishied. You know what I'm saying? They recorded whispering, doors slamming, photos of light streaks and fog shapes. They said it was apparitions. Apparitions, yeah. They recommended that a local priest come bless your home, remove all your mirrors, because back then, mirrors were portals.
I still got a thing with mirrors, man.
And to avoid every fear-based reaction you can. So pretty much told them, if you feel scared, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Tell it to stop. You're making it worse, essentially. And they thanked him and left. That was it. That was their first ever case.
And they didn't charge for that, right?
They have never charged for a paranormal case in 50 years.
That's what I thought. They never charged for the paintings, and they never charged for the investigations.
Them to come in. Now, they made their money by doing lectures.
Right.
By talking to colleges.
Yeah.
By talking to people. By doing radio shows. By getting their word out. People would have to pay them for them to do these lectures or to come on their radio show or something along those lines. That is how they got their money. They never once took 1 cent from any human that they helped. Yeah. Helped in bunny ears, because some people don't believe they helped.
And there were some cases I had read where they would go in and they would, find a logical reason, like, oh, you have a leak here, or this is making this noise. They weren't always trying to.
Exactly. But
there were times.
We'll talk about our opinions later. I feel like, So.
Yeah, from what I read, most of their money was made through lectures, especially at colleges. And then later they had book projects. Of course, we had the rights to their stories on the film and TV, stuff like that. So initially, they were really just wanting to go in out of curiosity and help people, and they weren't in it for the money, from what it sounds like in the beginning. Anyway, we'll go into our opinions later, but as far as gifts, as far as helping, Lorraine's gifts, I'm going to talk about those a little bit. I know I touched on them before, but so she claims to, back to like age 7 or 8, she said she would have psychic visions, but she suppressed them. She thought they were just her imagination, a child with imagination. She didn't think there was anything absurd about it when she was little, but she remembered seeing auras and things like that, like sensing things. But she was little. Again, she didn't do a big thing about it. But by age 12, this is when she started realizing what she was doing wasn't typical, that it wasn't a normal thing. So 12 years old at her all-girls private school, again, it was Arbor Day, and she had just planted a sapling, a little baby tree with her friends, her classmates. And she said she looked at the tree and looked up, and she instantly saw a vision of it growing into a full tree with leaves blowing in the wind. And when she looked up, a nun had asked her what she was doing, what she was looking at, and she explained, and she said, "Are you seeing into the future?" And Lorraine said, "I guess I am." So I guess this is where she realized at 12 years old that I am having visions. I'm having psychic premonitions. This is where I have a gift. This is not normal. Okay. So this was like her aha moment, I guess. But she claimed, she could. Eventually she began to communicate with spirits. But in the beginning, she didn't even understand that she had that gift. That was not even on her thoughts.
She just knew she saw a tree grow.
Yeah, she sensed things, she felt things, but she didn't realize. And I get this because when I was little, I had a lot of this similar things that I didn't realize until I got older. Yeah, that's what that is.
So you weren't talking to spirits at 5?
I heard them, I think, or sensed them. But now, looking back, I thought I was cuckoo. I thought I was a crazy little kid with a lot of anxiety.
And imagine thinking that in the 40s.
Yeah.
Or 20s?
Yeah.
When she was born.
Right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And my mom wasn't one. We weren't seriously, she's a very religious family. Right. They weren't taught to, believe that stuff,
right.
So she probably didn't think much of it. Just kid's imagination. I'm sleepy, whatever. As she got older, she started realizing, but she'd keep it hidden. She was afraid of being ridiculed. She was afraid of being made fun of. And she, like I said, she was a skeptic about ghosts and the paranormal and all that supernatural. Even when she was with Ed for quite a while, she didn't quite understand or believe a lot of this stuff. Yeah.
Come around
when she finally got into it,
I think once they actually started doing the physical investigation, she was like, "Oh damn."
Yeah, I sense this, and you're picking that up too. Put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, there's something here.
There's something here, yeah.
And that's when she started realizing, okay, there's more to this. I can really go more with this. And I do believe she had a gift, but okay, with the skepticism. So she started realizing the more cases they did that the things that Ed was into, it made sense because all her doubts and all her skepticism, she would realize she would talk to people all around the country and their stories would be so similar that it couldn't just be made up. This type of spirit does this and this type of spirit does that. They're experiencing similar things across the freaking map. There's got to be something here. So she finally started realizing and then getting more into her channeling and her, what I said, light trance. So it's kind of like she lets the spirit take over to speak through her.
What I read was that it's literally a mild possession.
Yeah.
It's not
it's more of a mind thing.
Yes.
Which I channel. And
so technically it could just be channeling.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think it's more a difference of where I'll be okay, I'm getting this and I'm speaking it for them. I think Lorraine's was more like a light trance where she would speak as the spirit.
Oh.
So I don't speak as the spirit. I don't let them have access of my mind. I relay messages. So for me, my channeling's different. But for her, it sounds like she sometimes would kind of go into a light trance. Oh, I got chills. Go into a trance I am here to do this and this is so it sounds
Calm
like she
down.
more,
you don't want to invite anything into you right
yeah, not allowed today. I should have got my black candles.
I'm surprised you don't have a candle going for this
surprised
episode,
too. It didn't even cross my mind.
I'm proud of you.
I know, look at me. But I got my big girl armor on today.
Okay, got that big girl bra on.
So yeah, she got into it. She started realizing her gifts. Okay, her abilities were actually tested by I think it was a UCLA professor, but she was a parapsychologist, which is a psychologist that researches interests in the occult, things like that. But her testing was done, and they said that her clairvoyant abilities were far above average. So, quote, professionals tested her, and there was something there, and it did appear to be a strong gift. So, anyway, this is where we get in there realizing, okay, this is a big thing. We need to make more of this. We need to share our gifts. We need to open ourselves to the public, like you talked about going. But we're into 1952 here, and this is where they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research. So they call it the NESPR. New England, yeah.
So the Warrens founded this.
The Warrens founded this in 52. This was the oldest ghost hunting group in New England. So this became the base for their lectures, their investigations, and then their controversial Occult Museum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big museum. I know we all know what the museum is. If you know anything about them, you know the museum is a thing. There's a lot I didn't realize about the museum, though, like until I did this research, which is super cool. Okay, we're going to start with it. Actually, the museum was in their basement.
Oh.
It was not a building on the side street. Absolutely not. It was in their basement.
How can you live with all that in your house?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you how. Hold on. They started collecting haunted or cursed items during their investigations, is what it was.
So I wonder if the people of the house were like, I don't want this, take it.
I think it was more of a... You know, at the end of how I said their first thing, here's my diagnosis, here's your treatment.
Yeah.
Take the mirrors down, blah, blah, blah. We'll take the mirrors for you.
Okay.
Kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
God, they're so bad, but let me put them in my basement.
As the collection grew and the items became more dangerous, they needed a more dedicated, secure space to contain everything. Mind you, this started in it started in Ed's study up in their house, because they had a nice house. I mean, they had some money. It started in the study. So then they're like, we're getting too many. Let's turn our entire basement. We're going to start storing stuff down there. Okay. Entire basement. Big basement. Not a small basement. Big basement. It started with like haunted dolls. It just a few here and there.
Annabelle.
Well, no, they didn't start with Annabelle. That's not what started
So
it.
there were many,
This
multiple
is before Annabelle. Yes,
dolls.
just different things.
Dolls are fucking creepy in general, bro.
Some things were... a lot of things were from possession cases. Like where the pin is possessed. It spins uncontrollably. Take it, please. And they would take it kind
cursed
of thing.
Objects,
Tools, relics, cursed objects from satanic cults. Ton of those. Because I guess there was a lot of satanic cults back then.
Well, if we're getting into the 50s and 60s and this,
Yeah, they would also do things that people just simply believed could possibly be cursed even if they weren't. Mirrors, books, statues.
Let me take this and study it for you.
I bought this at a yard sale. Well, okay, we're back then. Auction. I bought this at an auction, and ever since I bought it, this and this has happened. Please take it from me, kind of thing. Anything that seemed to possibly have negative energy. So, I mean, I could be like, oh my God, the pen feels negative, and they would take it. Like, it literally, if somebody says, this piece of poo is paranormal, they're going to take it at this point.
This is a creepy hunk of poopy.
They had a music box that played on its own for no reason.
Ew.
And it played on its own constantly in the basement. Like, it was a constant thing. But, I mean, it could just be a fucked up, it was a music box. I don't know. Haunted furniture, they would take beds, chairs, desks, it didn't matter. Clothing that somebody died in that the family didn't want. Objects with documented paranormal activity. Okay, they created the museum because they believed that haunted objects could not be destroyed properly. They believed, if I burnt this pin, it's going to jump into this.
Okay.
So we can't. So we're instead of...
At least trap
instead of deleting... That's a good word. Instead of deleting, we're just going to box up.
Energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Okay. This basement was protected by multiple locks and chains.
Okay.
Every wall, floor, and ceiling in the basement was blessed by a Catholic priest.
Okay.
Okay. They had religious relics and quotes on the walls, down the stairs, on the door, around the entire room.
Okay. So this is how they kept the energy protected.
Yes. Over time, like right now, well, it's okay. Over 400 objects is what they ended with. But I mean, you have to think, I think that I saw they had like, was it 4 or 5 beds? You know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
wow.
I mean, you got to think. It's a lot of big things.
Probably
also.
a lot of dolls on the beds.
Some of the biggest, most things, I'm going to butcher this. I can never say this word. The Dybbuk box. D-Y-B-B-U-K.
I don't know.
Oh my God, the box.
Do I not know that word?
Do you know what the box is? The box that has a demon in it. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Dubois.
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about now.
A ghostly accordion apparently is a big thing. There's a furniture from a haunted house that was apparently one of the most haunted houses. I think it was in like Rhode Island. Like deemed. They have all the furniture.
All of it?
All the furniture.
Holy cow. That is a big basement.
This museum was never once open to the public for one day.
So it was a private
you and
museum.
I could not go to this museum.
I was going to say, with all the locks and the blessings.
Okay, other paranormal investigators were allowed to go. Priests and religious authorities that wanted to see or learn.
It was more like a
or
protected
anything
lockbox.
like that. Trusted friends and colleagues, media and authors, certain ones, they could get a guided tour by Ed or Lorraine. That was it.
Okay.
In 2019, the museum was closed due to zoning issues, and they moved it to a private, undisclosed area. The only people who know where this stuff is their son-in-law and daughter. Tony Spera is in charge of all the museum artifacts and absolutely everything in it. There are very occasional controlled appearances to certain things. I do want to say Annabelle, who we're about to talk about here shortly, she is the center of attention in this museum. Whenever it was there, it was dead center. You walk down them stairs, bam, Annabelle. She's there, right there. Hi, how are you, Annabelle?
Oh, thank you.
So like the controlled appearances, like I said, they actually took Annabelle out on a tour this year.
Oh.
They took her out and she went to, I know, New Orleans, and I think it was Texas. So yeah. That's the museum. It's a controversy for so many reasons. Why keep the stuff? Why not burn it? Why are you, you know what I mean? It's so much. And you would think that house would be so fucked up you couldn't see straight.
Yeah.
Like literally. You would think, but I mean, maybe not. Maybe
once these items leave their whatever's fueling them, and then they're locked in a safe, blessed area.
I would like to know, because I tried to dig. Like, it's in an undisclosed area, and only the son-in-law and daughter know where they are. That's fine. So there's reports of their house being haunted because of all of this stuff. Like Ed and Lorraine's house, which is no longer, it's gone.
Oh,
but I don't know if it's gone, but the zoning issues and there's a bunch of legalities, like it's no longer their home. So I wonder where they took them, if there's hauntings there too. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that a thing?
Right.
Or are they just cuckoo nutballs who stored a bunch of beds downstairs because somebody once said this could be haunted? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd like to know, like, the story of the traveling pants, the story of the traveling items,
Yeah,
like if
literally.
that follows where they go.
Yeah.
But I know they were still very religious even through their whole, so they're like belief in God protecting.
100%. And that was another, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to get into controversy right now. That was another thing, because people are like, how can you believe so deeply in God, but then put a demon doll in your basement?
Roman Catholics and like priests and stuff that do exorcisms, like they are, I mean, they're trying to help, they're trying to get the dark energy out. Yeah. And in their case, they would say things like, you know, if you have God and you believe in God, that you can protect yourself from these things. Like if you don't have, they believe that if you didn't have religious beliefs and you didn't have God in your life, that you couldn't keep yourself away from this stuff.
I'm fucked.
So I know that went along with their stuff for a long time. So I was wondering how blessed the cursed basement was.
Yes, and like when I say all the walls were blessed, this was a normal thing.
Yeah.
They came down often to re-bless.
I was going to say they probably had to
not
probably anytime someone entered or exited.
Possibility.
You're bringing energy in and out.
Yes.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want that to travel if you truly believe all that. Like, yeah. But yeah, they, I know you'd said that their son-in-law and daughter, they only had the one daughter, right?
Yeah.
Her name was Judy. They had her in 1951? So she was born during all this. So they had a kid right before they opened their research stuff and the museum. They had their daughter, and she wasn't even like aware of a lot of the stuff they were doing. Like even as a kid,
everything I read about her was like she literally, like she knew literally the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like she knew they went to people's houses and helped them. That was like it.
Well, I'd read that Ed even told her when she was younger, like middle school, to tell her friends that he was a landscape artist because they didn't want her being ridiculed and stuff like that.
But of course her friends bullied her because a lot of friends' parents probably used them
to
come to their home.
Obviously people know them around the world. Everyone knows who they are. So, how do you keep that
she honestly did not know everything they did and what they collected and all of that stuff until she took over the estate.
Okay, so she didn't know the extent of the paranormal part.
She knew none of it.
At this point, they were giving lectures. They were doing interviews.
But
they were going all over.
You have to think, it's not 2025.
True.
You can't bring it up on YouTube.
That's true.
This is the 50s, 60s.
And I know their lectures and stuff. I think they were actually trying to help in those cases. They go to a lot of colleges because this was in the 60s, this is when the occult was starting to get really big, and college kids were really drawn into it. So they tried to make their main focus, like catch them young, let them know. like not to get into the occult. They actually tried to discourage young people from getting into the occult because of all the risks and the negative stuff that comes with it. Right. So a lot of their lectures were done at colleges. So yeah, I guess back then you wouldn't have a way to get all that around to come back. No, to your
literally.
Kid.
So just don't turn the TV on.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Like.
But now she obviously knows now.
Oh, and she didn't know until she took over.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure once we got to a late teen and an early adult, she probably learned a little more, but I don't think she knew the full fucking extent of it until she walked down in that basement.
Until she walked in and saw Annabelle.
She was like a grown 50-year-old woman when she walked in that basement.
Yeah,
and that is
crazy.
What she didn't know. She didn't. And I think another thing, I don't think she wanted to know.
Yeah.
I think, like everything I read about her, she had an amazing relationship with her parents. She was very loved. She loved her mom. Her dad loved her. It was a very good upbringing.
I wonder. I didn't see a lot about her upbringing, so I wondered how that went.
Yeah, it was good. Like other than she was bullied at school, like mom still loved her, dad still loved her. They were there for her. All of that good stuff.
Yeah.
But they also, it was Annabelle. No, they also blocked her from all the bad stuff, which I mean is honestly what a good parent should do whenever you're a fucking demonologist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about we're going to talk about a couple of their cases now. I think we're only going to do 3. It's kind of a speed round. Yeah. It's not going to be every single fucking detail.
We won't go too deep because there are so many, big ones even. And
there's a lot of big ones. It was hard to choose. So
one of my favorites and one of their early, this was 1971, was the Perron family case. And now this is what inspired the original Conjuring movie, which it didn't come out to 2013. But the 1971 Perron family case. Okay, Roger Perron and his wife Carolyn and their 5 children moved into their new country home in Harrisville, Rhode Island. They didn't realize the history when they moved in there. Almost immediately, they began seeing things, hearing things, disturbances. This is a big farmhouse, mind you. This is a very old land. There's a lot going on here. But it started small. The broom would go missing or it would move itself. Strange piles of dirt would appear on the floor. They'd hear scraping sounds from the kitchen kettle, things like that. Not creepy at all. But then Carolyn got curious.
That kitchen kettle. I saw that thing going across the counter. I'd probably shit my pants.
Fuck, right? So this is enough to, spark the interest of the mother. She's curious. She starts researching. She finds the home has been in the same family for 8 generations. And that a lot of these family members have died under mysterious or horrible circumstances. Several of the children drowned in the creek nearby. One was murdered. A few of them hanged themselves in the attic. Different ages, not all children. But yes, there's a lot of history. But I think 8 generations, everybody dies. They gotta die somehow. So, but the Perron family began experiencing more extreme experiences like apparitions, voices, furniture moving, beds rising from the floor, they claimed. Okay. Yeah. This is where
I feel like I draw a line at walls leaking, green ooze or red ooze, and levitation.
Yeah. I believe in some
I believe in
activity.
A thing called love.
Right? So I don't know. This story to me, I know there was something there. Yes, I fully believe that. But I think it got a little exaggerated. A little. So yeah, what seemed to be, they thought there were ghosts playing with their kids, but these seemed kind of benevolent, like less, not so spooky, not so bad, kind of, interacting with kids. Anyway, the Warrens heard about this story. Mind you, they did not reach out to the Warrens. The Warrens heard about this story and they contacted this family. In 1973, they were invited by the family. Mind you, they reached out and they said, can we come out? Yeah, sure, come out. Okay. Multiple times they came and helped during the time they lived there. Lorraine walked in and she said she sensed a dark presence of a malevolent spirit in the house. So they even claimed that a member of their research team saw a misty figure of a woman. So Lorraine's picking up this. The research team's seeing stuff. I don't know if this is before or after, but the mother, Carolyn, she began asking around like locals and finding out more details about the history, stories, and things like that. And they learned about a woman named Bathsheba, a woman who lived there in the 1800s who was accused of being a Satanist and a witch. Locals even believe she was involved in the death of a child, an infant. They don't, different stories.
Of course.
The movie shows that it's also her baby.
It's also the 1800s, so you can't really,
there is no
documented.
No evidence to prove that she was involved in anything bad at all. There are so many different stories. From what I read, it almost, like, she had a normal life. But in the movie, Bathsheba is, she is an evil witch. She is, you know,
the movie also always they dramatize it. Yes. Like, it is not real life events.
I'd say the movie is good. It's worth watching.
Yeah. That's your opinion. I don't like The Conjuring.
I love the Conjuring movies. I do. I love them.
Listen, okay, I'll be fair. I probably haven't watched them in a good 10 years.
Really?
Maybe 5-10 years.
Well, the first one came out in 2013. There's at least four now.
Baby, it's 25.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow.
It just hit me like a sack of potatoes to the face.
So that was like, 12 or 13 years ago the first one came out.
Gosh.
I watched it one time when it came out. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't... I think I watched 1 and 2, and I said, fuck 3 and 4. Like, I've never...
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna watch them.
You'd think I wouldn't want to because
I'm gonna watch them.
But I light my black candle.
Listen,
I get my crystals.
I wish we could find a way to have a movie night. We could do it. Conjure it out.
Figure it out.
You would piss your pants, I feel. No, you like the paranormal ones.
Stuff.
I'm sorry.
I love it. Give me Annabelle.
I
give me
roll
the
my
Nun.
eyes too much.
Oh, I know. Me too. I'm like, oh my God, seriously.
Okay, anyway, go ahead.
But I still love it.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if this happened. She started asking locals. Okay, we've got Bathsheba. Right. We know that there was possibly an evil witch, this woman that maybe killed a baby.
She was probably just a normal woman who stood outside at
moonlight.
From
what it sounds like,
I don't even think
she did any of that. She
didn't walk out on sunlight and at dark time, right. And they're like, "You're now a witch, and now we're gonna fucking scorn you in your home."
Could have been anything, right? Like you said, it's the 1800s. We know for sure she was buried nearby. We don't even know that she lived on the property, but she did exist, okay? We just don't know her real story. But I don't know if this information came out before or after Lorraine started sensing this female evil spirit, but Lorraine went with that, and she got the family to fully believe this. And if you watch The Conjuring, it's over the top about this woman, okay?
Of course.
But truth is, a lot of the activity was not just this woman. It was not all bad activity. So the mother, Carolyn, she starts claiming to have... pinching and like punching and things like that she believes this woman is jealous of her mothering abilities and things like that, and her connection with her children. She's jealous and she's attacking her. Okay, at one point she claims she had a piercing pain in her leg one day while laying on the couch, blood's dripping like she'd been poked with a sewing needle. Well, they believe that woman killed this infant with a sewing needle. So Lorraine tells her she carried that with her to the afterlife. That was her piercing your leg. Okay, so I almost wonder if Lorraine's putting this in this woman's head and this woman's going all out with it. And because at this point, Lorraine actually did conduct a seance. Okay. This is actual part. I'd say the movie's like 5% truth from what I've read. But in the movie...
I'll give it a 2%.
In the movie...
No, listen, they went there. That's it. Everything else after them showing up on their doorstep is not true on the movie. It did not happen that way. I'm sorry. There's no fucking way.
They say they did try to conduct a seance, but in the movie, they do a full exorcism. Yeah. Mind you, Ed did not do exorcisms. He was not a priest, and he did not believe that he was not capable.
Approved. You had to be an approved Catholic priest to do exorcisms.
He said he would have not attempted that part,
Exactly.
So they do this exorcism. It's said that Carolyn became possessed. She started speaking in tongues, rising from her chair, was thrown across the room. The oldest daughter, who still goes on about this shit, she even claimed to have witnessed all of this. Also, the daughter, in my eyes, I don't know, man. She went with all this. I think she loves the fame, okay, but whatever. So, the show is showing exorcist. Maybe they did a seance. We don't really know what happened, but point was, the family believed that their presence was worsened by the situation. They forced the Warrens to leave. They started questioning their ways, how they conducted their work. They thought that the husband believed that the mental state of the wife had become worse with the Warrens involved. I'm pretty sure I read multiple places that the father actually punched Ed in the face. Like, get out of here. You're making our life worse. So they were done at this point. Out, completely done. Warrens, bye-bye. You're making it worse. But for some reason, even after all of this, the family stayed in the house until 1980. That means they were there for like 10 years. So if it's this bad, why would you stay for 10 years? And once they moved out, the hauntings seemed to cease. There were some minor experiences mentioned over the years, like little poltergeist stuff. Yeah, it's probably a fucking haunted house, but I don't think... But again, this goes in... I think a minister lived there, and I think, again, Lorraine believed that, they have God in their life. They're not going to experience this bad stuff. It feeds on fear, blah, blah, blah.
We'll give our opinions on them.
Yeah.
In a moment.
But yeah, with all the digging I've done, I couldn't find anything on the actual Bathsheba being an actual bad person. They couldn't even, prove the sources that Carolyn had talked to, which makes me wonder how much the family made up, how much the Warrens made up, and how much the daughter has really, really, made this, because she still goes back. The daughter now will still go back and visit the house. Like, she'll go for investigation, stuff like that. Yeah, but she doesn't claim to have had bad experiences. She doesn't even think...
Did the daughter not buy the house back?
I'm pretty sure
she owns it, and I'm pretty sure they just reclosed it again for, like, demolition.
You might be right. Yeah, because I think they even, like, rented it out for...
Yeah, because, like, you could go and investigate. Like, a paranormal investigator could go. You could pay and go investigate.
Yeah.
She took that. She saw that cha-ching.
Yeah.
And she fucking went with it.
Because, she wrote a book. She did, she's done all kinds of stories.
Honestly, this sounds horrible, but good for her.
Why not?
She found a way to make a steady income for her and her family.
Yep.
Good for you.
And she wasn't hurting anybody. I mean, she would say that.
Because let me tell you right now, if I had the opportunity, I would go sit in that fucking house right now in the dark, eyes closed, with candles around me, and I would pay whatever she wanted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if this is false or not. You have created a monster. There's a monster there now. Even if there wasn't. You've made it, and it's there. And I will sit there in dark and listen and have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know about fun.
Because at this point, it is entertainment. So,
literally.
I mean, now...
So, you know what? Good for her. Yeah. I'm dead fucking serious. Good for her.
It doesn't bother me a bit. Mm-mm. I mean, she's
not hurting anybody.
Sharing her experience is not hurting anybody.
She is literally giving you the thrill of your life. Well, I don't think you can now. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they just closed it and it's getting knocked down. Yeah. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not 100%
But I know she's still very connected to the house. And from what one of the daughters even lived there after the family moved out. Another one, I think.
Right.
And so the whole family obviously didn't seem to be too shook by it. Right. And when she shares her stories, it's more, she doesn't even believe the witch was a guilty woman. She doesn't believe it was all, like, most of her experiences were not malevolent. Yeah, so, I don't know. But yeah, definitely a lot of words. Definitely a lot of exaggeration for money and theatrics. But, like I said, it's giving people entertainment. I agree, so there's a lot worse things you can do. So
Annabelle gives people entertainment
right?
too.
Oh my gosh. Everyone's heard of Annabelle.
Right.
But unfortunately, you're not going to hear much more about her today because we
not from us anyway, because we already hit almost 50 minutes. We are going to do a part 2 on the Warrens. I don't think we've ever done like a part 2 like this.
Not where we had to cut it off. But we won't leave you hanging long. Okay.
No, it'll just be a week. So
part 2, part dos is coming next week.
So if you want to email us and tell us how mad you are about this, you can do so at onlyifyoucankeepup@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.